Welcome back to Kryptic Gaming Network. I'm Kryptic. Today, guys, we're here to review in depth the 2015 release of the relaunch of the Need for Speed franchise. This game, let's start off with the quick review for people who maybe only got a few minutes on a break. Graphics on a scale of 1 to 10, this game is a solid 9. That is the beginning car you get right there. And that's after about an hour with upgrades. Nothing major, but 8 out of 10 on graphics for people who are looking for a quick review. Gameplay, solid 7 out of 10. Nothing fantastic, but it's better than the last few entries we've had, to be honest. Now, let's go to the in-depth review. As you guys see here, this is the entire world map of Need for Speed, the 2015 relaunch of the series. This game is massive in terms of how big it is. It's free world. You can drive on any street you see here. Any street that's highlighted the lighter gray or the yellow / orange, you can drive on. So this is a pretty massive game world, especially for a driving game. I thought Need for Speed Rivals was pretty big. This is bigger. It feels bigger anyway. I mean, take a look at this map that we're in right now, people. This is massive. And this is just me going a very short distance. And I'm on my way to another objective from the garage. I'm not in a race. I'm just driving from one spot to another. There is a teleport option, which is very convenient, because 9 times out of 10, if you're not careful, you will put a visual damage, just looks, to your car before you get to a race. And that bugs people. They want their car to look all fancy when they start the race. That's fine. That's why the teleport option is there, also to save time. Because like I said, this is a very large game, people, in terms of how far things can be apart. With that stated, I can't say enough good things about the overall size of this game. It's very cool to have a game this size. Now let's move on to the controls. A lot of people have given this a bad review. Right here, what you guys see on the screen, I'm going to go through all the cars available in the game while I talk to you. So you guys can look and see all the cars that are available in the game as of this moment prior to any DLC. Now let's move back to controls. A lot of people are complaining that the game is very hard to control, that your cars feel sluggish. Well, I don't really feel that way. It did take some time to get used to the overall feel of the game. It had a different feel to it than just about any other Need for Speed game I've really felt. But the game did, you did get used to it. So the people said they're saying it's horrendous, horrendous control system. You can't control your car. These people played the game for 5 or 10 minutes probably and give up, or just wasn't very good to begin with. I'll tell you a game that was damn near impossible to control. That was a game on PS3 called Grid. That was insane, the amount of control you had to have. I grew up with racing simulators, Forza and Gran Turismo, so I'm used to a game being a little bit more difficult. Doesn't bother me at all. And I found that this was a very enjoyable experience. You got to know exactly what you're doing and figure it out, and you're going to have fun. My advice, if you pick this one up and it seems a little too hard in the beginning, give it about 20-30 minutes and get used to it, how it controls. Plus, if you upgrade your car, things do get better. Way better. Now, you guys are watching the screen, you're looking through all the different cars. I just purchased a Supra for later in this video. I'll show you some visual customization options that you have. I got to thinking about Paul Walker when I seen the Supra, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it and use that as a referencing point. But as you see here, there's it's not Gran Turismo Forza worthy of amount of cars, but there's quite a few cars here to be had to customize and make your own, whether it be muscle or tuner or somewhere in between. There's even supercars in this list, as you will see. There's a couple cars in here from the past. The BMW M3 is in here. That was a really cool nod to the past. Recently in an update, Eddie returned. I believe it was from Most Wanted. And you can challenge Eddie in a 15 challenge race. Final event is against Eddie himself. That's cool. Another nod to Most Wanted. But like I said, there's a lot of cars here to choose from. And it's quite unique to see this. A lot of people are giving this game a lot of bad hype. They sit there and they say, it's not Need for Speed Underground. It's not Need for Speed Underground 2. It's not Most Wanted. The original Most Wanted. Well, let me tell you something about those three games. Those three games come from an EA that had a totally different creative team at the time. Totally different process on how you do things. And it's just like any other game that you have out there. Your first game in a series or a franchise is always going to be your favorite. You're always going to find something wrong with the next installment. You're going to say, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it does this. But I wish it had this like this game. It doesn't necessarily mean that other game was better. It just means that you have an attachment to that game. Me, myself, I understand that Need for Speed 2015 relaunch of the series is not Need for Speed Underground 1, Need for Speed Underground 2, or Most Wanted. It can't be, people. It's its own thing. It has to stand out on its own. Does it do a very good job, in my opinion, of capturing that beauty, that thing, that fun from Underground 1 and 2 and Most Wanted? Absolutely. I had a lot of fun playing this game. The story, I can see where the story lacks a little bit. People say that. I'm not going to argue that fact. But to see the cool live action sequences with my car in them, that was a really cool take. That was really unique. I enjoyed that. It immersed me more in the game. Made it more immersive, made it more fun. If you're comparing this to Need for Speed Underground or Underground 2 or Most Wanted, the original Most Wanted, you can't do that. You just can't. Different people are in charge now of the studios that develop these games, and they're just so much different. All right, they just are. There's a lot of difference to them. So, with that stated, judge it on itself. Judge it by itself as a standalone franchise. It wasn't called Need for Speed Underground 3. It wasn't called Most Wanted 2 or 3, if you want to count the remake as 2. It was called Need for Speed. They were relaunching the franchise. And I think that they got off on a solid foot. Do I think that there were some things they could have improved? Of course I do. I'm going to come to you now with my solid gripe about this game. One of my biggest gripes about this game is in Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Underground 2. I understand this is not that game. I just stated that. They did state that they were trying to capture that magic. I feel like they could have captured it better with a better soundtrack. I found myself many times muting my TV or just turning the game music off and playing Spotify or something because of how horrendous the track is to this game. The soundtrack. It's horrible. Now you guys will see all the upgrades you can make performance-wise. But no, the soundtrack to this game is horrible. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? I wouldn't even put the game audio in the file in this video Not because I was worried about copyright infringement or anything like that, or copyright strike. I didn't think it was good enough. So I went and got my own royalty-free music to put in it that sounded better than what was playing in the background. There was maybe 1 or 2 tracks that felt like it belonged in this game. All honesty. Now, I'm going to show you guys the coup de grace. I've pretty much beaten the game. This is my baby here. This is my beast. This is not a car you start off with. This is the 2015 Nissan GTR, almost maxed out on everything you can have. And this is what you can expect at the end of the game. I do mess up once here, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what happened. I got too close to the wall, I guess, and I just wipe out. But as you can see, though, there's quite a bit of control here. You just got to know how to run the lines. You just got to drift. That's what a lot of people don't like. There is a lot of drift mechanic in this game. If you can't figure out how to do a drift, you're going to struggle a little bit. But if you played Underground 1 or 2, you know how to drift a little bit. It wasn't as big as it is now, but it was a mechanic. Now, right there's where I wipe out. This is the absolute best thing, minus the soundtrack, that could have happened to the franchise. When Rivals came out, played that for about 2 hours and never touched it again. I think I ended up selling it 2 weeks later. When Most Wanted came out, the remake of Most Wanted, I didn't touch it. I was like, nope, not interested. Don't give a crap. Don't mess with the good thing. Well, I ended up picking it up, trying it out. Didn't like it. Didn't like the feel of it. I like the original. Well, when I got this one for the review, I go, I don't know. And within 2 hours of having it, I realized I was having a little bit of fun. When I realized that it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I was still playing, starting at 6 p.m., I realized I've been having a lot of fun, apparently. This game is addictive and fun, and that is what Need for Speed needed. It is what it desperately needed. A standalone game that could be played for hours and be enjoyed. My final rating of this game is a solid 8 out of 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8. Graphics and gameplay are on par. The soundtrack is over 1.5 stars of that, or 1.5 points on a scale of 1 to 10 for me. The other half of a point, or half of a star, if you might will, has to do with they are kind of limited in body parts for any car and wheel parts and stuff like that. The options are very limited, which is kind of upsetting. But guys, thank you for coming back to another episode of Kryptic Gaming Network. And like I said, 8 out of 10. Bravo EA on a phenomenal game. I'll see you guys on the next video. If you enjoyed this video and are not a current subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. If you are a current subscriber, thanks for coming back, and make sure to hit that share button if you enjoyed. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.